Say what you will, at least they're not stealing from Hasbro. Mars Converters, Valve Charger, today on Guerrilla Reviews. Yes, we're getting into the car formers, or at least more of the car formers here. Today, starting with a well-known fellow Valve Charger, one of the classics, classic styled little versions of it. Obviously with accelerator and drifter. At the time, we were the only ones there. Let's see here now. With the two Solar Spark and Bust Runner, obviously that expanded a little bit. But still, it's very nice to get one of those older school style ones. And it's actually, and looks fairly decent, but, well, something you might have noticed already. We'll get into that in a little bit. Okay, let's start by getting this figure out of the box. Shouldn't be too hard. That, hey, yeah, the instructions are in here. Always a good sign. Consider that, well, third-party companies that no longer exist and include instructions. The fact that these people, this company anyway, still do, is a good sign. Even as simple as these figures are. Let's see. And them some flat feet. There we go. Ooh. That's okay, that just pops right back on. Eventually. There. If I had to guess, these go like this. Make the most sense. That way you get a bigger footprint so they can stand up properly. Beautiful. Okay. Valve Charger out of the box. One thing I will definitely admit now is that when it comes to the Mars converters, they do at least give you a decent size. Unlike most of the economies, things aren't shrinking down and getting fairly disappointing while the prices just keep climbing. I'm not going to say that the prices aren't climbing on these things. It's not nearly as exponential as these figures, which is always a plus. Anyway, let's take a look at the articulation here. Head is kind of just one piece here. Probably means that when we get a transformation, well, we'll get to that a bit. Ball jointed shoulder, mushroom peg, and hinge joint for the elbow, waist rotation. Okay, so that puts them above some of the other figures. Ball jointed hips. Let's see here now. We got both a hinge joint and a mushroom peg for the knee. And we do have feet that tilt forward. So there is a fairly standard suite of articulation here. So it is possible to get them into some decent action poses, if that excites you. Now, let's get into transformation here. And we'll start with the head by just pushing it down. Because, yeah, there we go. There. I see the button. Feel cool now? Can you stop mentioning it to me? Okay, back on track. Push the head down, fold down, well, the engine block right there. Fold this up in, fold these, fold the arms in. So, tab in the doors. These we also have decent tabs on these, so they will at least stay put. The chances of these breaking is still there, but it's not nearly as great as some of the figures I have dealt with. Okay, fold in this here, fold in the other foot. Let's see here now. Yeah, then you just fold this together, peg these two legs in, peg the doors in, fold this part down. There we go. Valve Charger, car mode. Now, obviously, since they can't get any the licenses for the vehicles, they kind of have to make it up as they go. And there is a fairly reminiscent feeling of this being a classic car. In fact, if it were a much deeper red, you might even pass it off for a car mode for Christine. If it, well, obviously, if it was a family car, it'd be a bit larger and probably a four-door. But hey, it's at least a decent little car mode. And the wheels do. Yay. Now, about the thing I mentioned earlier, It's that a lot of these robots seem to have remolded parts. So here now I got accelerator here, and as you'll see later, the chest, arms, thighs, even the waist are all remolded. They did change the head up and they did paint things differently. So that is going to be a factor if you are looking for these. As for getting these figures yourself, it's really going to depend on your taste and their availability. Then again, a lot of things are dependent upon availability these days, so it really depends on what kind of car you're into. And like I said, they are a decently sized lot and decently priced for what they are. So if you are looking for something different, this is definitely a step you can go in. Anyway, I'm the Deceptiwolf. This has been Mars Converters Valve Charge. And again, I remind you all, free your mind, free your toys.